So here it is. It's middle of the season. It's hot. I'm tired. It's been long, hard work for several months. I'm on numerous projects. I've done several projects. I'm exhausted. I'm juggling the demolition, the drywall, right? I got subs here, subs there. I got a punch list on that project. I got invoices piling up that I owe. I got invoices piling up that people owe me. Man, all this while I'm also trying to sell the next job and the job after that and make it home in time to spend some time with the family. Yeah, I've been making some money. Why am I still grinding this hard? I ask myself, I look around, I see competitors, some of whom don't seem to be working nearly as hard, and yet they're doing some good business, right? Easily, some of them are doing a million, couple million, running multiple crews, spending weekends at the lake, at the beach, in the mountains, doing what they love to do. I had to realize something painful. Being smart and working hard just wasn't enough.
Hello, this is the HackHour Podcast, a show where it's all about helping real, everyday, hardworking remodelers learn the secrets to having it all in life and business. And now, here's your host, Mike Menges.
In fact, in this business, your biggest liability, if you're not careful, is the fact that you work hard. Say, hey guys, look, my name's Mike Menges. I'm a longtime remodeler, founder of the Remodeling Academy, and your host here on the HackHour Podcast. This podcast is all about helping remodelers raise the bar, right? Learning that it's more about being smarter, not just working harder in your aspiring remodeling business. Man, if you're ready to stop playing small and finally build the business that you dream of at night, but then when it comes morning, and you're faced with some tough decisions that you don't want to follow through with, but yet you want that big business, then you're in the right place. So let's dive in. Look, I've been there. I get it. I know what it's like to wake up and be faced with a tough challenge. A lot of it is spending money to invest in yourself, whether that's hiring a coach, getting a course, getting training, right? Investing in gear for the guys, investing in getting the vehicle wrapped. I can remember sitting there being frustrated. In fact, my first large order, it was hats, beanies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, hooded sweatshirts, zip-up sweatshirts, embroidered polos, and some nice button downs also embroidered. Man, that order was it was like maybe $2,000 in gear for the crew. And I can remember not wanting to go forward and make that purchase. I let that sit there and stall because I was afraid. I was like, are you really going to have enough business? What if it all falls apart? Do you have the guys? Like, can you keep the guys busy? And I didn't want to make the investment because I wasn't sure. And that is no way to run the business. When you are faced with a growth opportunity, you need to just head out and make it happen, right? Eventually, I started getting there, but it took a while. And if you're there and you're struggling with making these growth opportunities happen, then keep listening. You're in the right place. So look, let's talk straight. I can remember that first year wanting to get past $500,000. That was the goal. And we got really close the first year. And it wasn't because I was lazy. It wasn't because I wasn't smart. It wasn't because I wasn't trying, right? In fact, many of these strengths were the problem. All of it was actually the opposite. Here's what I mean. Yeah, I was pretty smart. I was making good decisions for the most part. I was capable. I could get projects done. And I was working my tail off a lot. And I was burning the candle at both ends, thinking, I'm almost there. I'm going to get there, right? And that's exactly why I was stuck. See, I'm judging all the other guys thinking that they do dumb stuff. Meanwhile, I'm the same, right? Here I am. I had to be on all the jobs. I wanted to grind them, and I wanted to make sure that I was putting the personal touches on because I was like, nobody can do it the way I do it. I'm really good at that molding. I want to make sure I'm installing the crown. Oh, wait a minute. Cabinets are going in. No, I want to make sure I'm doing that. I can't leave right now. Man, I'm trying to do it all, right? And then I'm overthinking things. I'm second guessing and I'm micromanaging. And here's the kicker. I was working hard on almost all the wrong stuff. Man, I was so buried in the day to day. At times I didn't even realize it. So I had to realize that if I wanted to scale my business and get past that first million, there was a real simple truth. It's going to take a team, and I got to get busy getting good at growing my team. See, I had to make some choices. I needed some new and better in house guys. How am I going to find them? How am I going to attract them? Right? If I don't have my stuff together, how am I going to acquire and bring in really talented guys like the pros, like these big companies that I'm competing against? How am I going to compete? How am I going to get those subs to come work for me? Maybe I don't have enough volume for them. Are they going to want to work? Right? How do I make all this happen? I know where I want to be. I know where I am. I recognize the gap. I want to close it. I'm not sure how to do it. I'm afraid of making certain moves, especially when it came to spending money. Man, I can remember hemming and hawing. I had hired my first real coach, and we're doing a whole new marketing plan to grow my business. And that's why I hired him. And he wants me to invest in my website, $3,500. And I'm hemming and hawing and saying, I want to get it done cheaper. And he's saying to me, are you silly? Like, you want to try to earn $3 million this year, and you're confused and don't want to spend $3,500 on a website? Like, what is your deal, man? Like, how are you ever going to be successful if you don't spend some money and get out of your own way? These were tough lessons that I had to learn and hear and struggle through. So for me, at the end of the day, I had to recognize that I'm bringing in some strong in-house lead carpenter project managers, and they're going to help run my jobs and help me grow the business so I can get off of the job sites and focus on feeding the machine, right? And here's what I found. For me, what worked, I hear this constantly. Guys are like, I can't find, there's good workers. There's nobody in the industry that wants to work anymore. There's no good guys. I'm going to tell you what, 20 years ago, it's the same message. The difference was some of us figured out how to find the good guys. See, the good guys, they already have work and they have a job. And many of them are good at what they do. So it's not like they're worried about losing their current job. It's not like they're not getting paid good to do what they do. Now, a lot of them might not like who they're working for 100%, because in the industry, there's a lot of bad business owners that make bad decisions and have a bad environment. And if you can run a good shop and have a good attitude and treat people really well, it's easy to bring them in, but you have to know how to find them. You don't find them by putting a want ad out on Facebook. You don't find them by, just asking some of your buddies. You go out and you actively look in the area and you say to people like, hey, who's the best employee at that company? Who's the best guy over there at that company? Go to your suppliers. Man, who's the best project manager you guys come across? Who's the best carpenter you've ever seen come in here and buy some materials? Who do other customers rave about all the time that say, man, this guy's amazing? Those are the people you go after. And you introduce yourself. You say, hey, I'm growing a team over here. That's how you find good guys. So that's enough about that. All right. So look, to grow, you need a team, right? Whether you're going to partner with somebody, bring someone in, you need teammates. Somebody's got to help run the office. Somebody's got to be out running the field, all these places. You need a team that complements you as well. Maybe you're really good at this skill set because of your personality. So bring in teammates that are really good in the other area. Best thing I ever did was hire some carpenters that were more personable than I was, right? They had the gift of gab. They really could yak it up with the clients. Clients loved them. I'm not that person, right? I'm more matter of fact, more about just moving on from task to task. So it was good for me to find like the opposite of me and bring them into the company so that customers could love the carpenter guy and the project manager guy. All right. So remember to look at that. I found that I was good at one thing right? I was good at selling and presenting a certain image for the business. And that's awesome. And then I recognized I have to learn to get good at many things to grow this business, right? It's a stair stack. It's like you're good at this skill, but you're not good here. Well, now guess what? That skill you got to bring up. And then, that skill over here that you're not so good at. Well, what do you got? You got to get better at that. And you got to get better at this. and you just have to keep growing, or you have to have the resources to bring people in and say, I don't do that, you do it for me. So either you get good at it or you get somebody who's good at it, right? Do you see how it works? That's what I had to do. I had to bring people in and also get better at my skills. So I needed to find people that could operate in their zone of genius while I could operate in mine. I found what worked for me best was bringing in more lead carpenters, more helpers, more subs. I went out and would sell the projects. And then it led to me saying, okay, now it's time for me to bring in salespeople, right? And then we move from there, bring in more project managers and grow and grow. That's the $1 million shift. That's what brings you up over the hurdle, right? You have a group of people that do the work. You have a person or group of people that gets the work. And then you have people that work on finding the people who you're going to go to get the work from. And it's this big, endless cycle. So, how do we do all that, right? Sounds simple. It is. There is a step-by-step playbook, right? It's not fancy. It works if you're willing to work it. However, keep this in mind. While anyone can do it, I can guarantee you right now, not everyone will. Man, in this industry, one thing I've learned and seen over the years is talented people, hardworking people, smart people fail and go out of business faster than you can shake a stick at it. Every 10 years, man, the industry's turning over like that, like clockwork, because people get burnt out because they can't get out of their own way. All right, so let's break out, how do you go about doing it? Well, it starts with some simple things. How about your brand? What's your image? Is it clean? Are you organized? Do you look professional? Do all your vehicles have the same logo or the same magnets or wrap, right? Do all your guys wear a similar style outfit? Maybe you have two colors in your logo. So does everyone at least wear one or the other color? Shirt, hat, sweatshirt? Are all the logos the same? I mean, little things like that make a difference. Consistent branding, images everywhere. All right. How about your system? Do all your carpenters have a similar process that they follow? Do all your installers go through a similar checklist, right? When it comes to doing a roof, guys, this is how we do roofs. Do they follow a simple, similar process? This is how we do basements. If you can't organize, and you can't systematize, then you ain't going to be able to grow at all. Simple. You'll get in your own way. Marketing, man, marketing. It's every day, it's every week, it's every month, it's constant. That's what you do. If you don't like doing it, bring somebody in that will do it. Hire someone. Whatever it takes, you have to do it. What does it look like? Simple. Every job that has a yard has a sign. Okay? Every job that has a house that has a neighbor gets a flyer, gets a door hanger, gets your guy, you, the salesman, the project manager, somebody goes and introduces themselves to the neighbor of every job that you're doing. At least 10 neighbors, minimum, right? Flyers. Every neighborhood that you work in, have worked in, want to work in, you're sending out flyers. You're handing them out, you're mailing them. Every day, month, week, you are looking for a network opportunity in the community you either live in, want to work in, are working in. You are looking to sponsor local events, get your name out there. You are knocking on doors all the time. Hey, I'm so and so. When you go out to lunch, do you go to the 3 other businesses in the area and give them a flyer and say, hey, just want to introduce myself. I'm so and so. I'm the sales rep. I'm so and so. I'm the project manager. I'm so and so. I'm the owner. Most people aren't doing that, but yet you're going out to lunch all the time, but you're not introducing yourself in a business sense. Are you posting on social media constantly? Maybe you don't like to do it. That's fine. Who's doing it for you if you don't like to do it? Are you asking for referrals on every job? Do you have a process? Do you actually have a form that you hand to the client and say, here, can you fill this out? Who is it that we should contact next? Who's going to love us as much as you have? Do you have that? You should. Are you building that pipeline? How about those post-project celebration parties? Are you having those? Do you even know what they are? Are you doing open houses on your big projects? You should be. How do you ramp all this up? Consistently. Send postcards. Follow up on leads. Record job site content for social media. Build the referral pipeline. Consistency builds credibility, and credibility leads to more cash. So, what does all this success look like in the long term? Man, here's the thing. Stop thinking about where you are right now and how much of a struggle it is, and say to yourself, all right, so imagine, let's say you do $300,000 this year and next year you want to do $1 million. You got to say to yourself, well, what does $1 million a year contractor do? I bet he does this. I bet he does things that I'm not doing. I bet he doesn't worry about spending $300 on this. I bet he gets some coaching. I bet he invests in some software. You know what? I bet he makes sure he looks nice. He has a logo on his hat. He has something on his shirt that says this is what we do, right? His truck looks good. That's what $1 million guy does. So I need to start doing what the $1 million guy does so that I can be the $1 million guy. If I keep doing what the $300,000 guy does, because that's where I am, that's where I'm always going to be. All right. So when you do things consistently, you get momentum. And when you start being who you want to be, then you are who you wanted to be. And that's who you are. Do you see how it works? Crazy, right? All right. You landed a client. Good job. Now get the referral. Awesome. Get the next referral, right? And build and build and grow. Every job, more flyers. Every job, you meet more neighbors. Every job, you meet a new client. You grow, 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 right? Every month, you're sending out a newsletter. Every month, you have new customers joining the newsletter because you just did more jobs. Who's using the CRM? How are you doing that, right? Quarterly, what kind of announcements are you sending out? What's your brand doing? What kind of announcement have you put in the local paper? What's the most recent thing you sponsored or helped out on? Man, look, you're no longer working in the business. You are now building it and working on it. And if you aren't doing it, then you need to hire someone. Again, if you're struggling to grow, you got to say to yourself, what does a growing larger business do that I'm not doing? Well, it sounds like I need to do that. And if you're not making the money and you don't have the money, then you got to say to yourself, damn, I got to figure out a way to invest in sales training. I got to figure out a way to invest in some marketing. I have to figure out a way to get better at running a damn business so I can afford to do the things that good businesses do, because I'm not there yet. And that's a harsh reality. When my first coach I wanted to hire, he wanted $10,000 to get started, right? That $10,000 in today's terms would be like 20 grand today. And I can remember going, how am I going to come? I got to come up with 10,000. And he's like, do you want the success that you say you want? Well, then come up with the 10,000. Go sell a job, mark it up, get the 10,000, hire, get started. Let's put this into practice so that you can build off of it. It was the best thing I ever did. But I can remember hemming and hawing because it was a steep investment at the time. But that's because I was thinking about where I was in the moment. When I put that into relation to where I want to be, then it's a drop in the bucket. And anyhow, guys, this isn't complicated. It's just challenging your mindset. I can remember I went and bought a $60,000 truck because I justified it and said to myself, man, I need that truck. That truck's going to help me run this business. But when it comes to investing $60,000 into systems and software and advertising and marketing and training, I'm like, I can't afford that. And it's crazy to think that way. Why are you not investing the money into what's going to help you grow? Sounds like you don't want to grow. I mean, you want to grow, but you're not willing to do what it's going to take to grow. I can't help you at that point, right? You have to recognize how silly sometimes we're being. I had to recognize that I was being silly when I didn't want to invest $3,500 to build my website. I had to recognize that I was being silly when I didn't want to invest another $3,000 into sending out postcards and mailers and flyers. I had to recognize I was being silly when I didn't want to invest $2,000 into gear for the crew and the guys. I had to recognize I was being silly when I didn't want to invest $2,000 into lettering up a vehicle, right? You're being silly. At the end of the day, $1 million business is investing in those things because that's what $1 million businesses have to get there, right? So you do it, and that's how you get there. You get over the hump by being over the hump. All right. So this is challenging. It is. Is it complicated? No, it's not. Is it hard? Yes. Is it worth it? Man, more than you can imagine. Look, less than 10% of the remodelers in business are going to survive 10 years in the business, right? There's a lot of guys that hang on for a lot of time, and they tend to, here's what happens. They get started, they want to grow, they try it, they get frustrated, they get their teeth knocked in, and then they fall back and they go to being small again. And they're like, it's just not worth it. And every now and then you get one or two guys that go for it. They keep struggling, they keep fighting, and then they figure it out. And then boom, the next thing you know, 10 million, 15. And they're walking around going, I'm so glad I didn't give up. I'm so glad I went for it. That can be anyone who's willing to take the chance. So at the end of the day, think about it this way. If you commit to doing the simple things uncommonly well every day, every week, every month, you will grow. You have nothing else that will happen other than growing. Like, it is just the natural response. It's the same. If any of you guys are into like working out, if you just go to the gym and you put in the time and you put in the effort, you'll get stronger by default. You don't even have to be that good at working out. You just have to basically do the thing, go through the motions, do the reps. You'll get better at the thing. Same thing for running the business, right? You just have to learn the new exercise. You have to learn the next step, the next skill set. So even if you don't know exactly what to do, just keep going. Make sure you're doing something. Get better every day. Man, just pick one skill. Like for me, I recognize I need to learn how to have more empathy with customers and my crew, right? I have to get some training on human behavior so I understand people better, so I can relate easier with them. That way I can sell to a more diverse client set of people and circumstances. Some guys think the closing rate, the way they have to do is I got to be harder, right? I can't take no for an answer. No, you have to learn how to eliminate no in the first place. That's sales training and sales skills. So look, every day you can get better. Just don't give up. I dare you. You want some help implementing things like that? Well, then here's what you can do. You can grab a copy of my book, Get Paid to Estimate. All you got to do is go over to our website and it's there. Oh, you want to join a Facebook group where you can get more information? Awesome. Go to Remodelers, Helping Remodelers. We'd love to have you there. Have you subscribed to our podcast and our YouTube channel? Have you been liking the content? Awesome. Like it, subscribe. You'll get more and just keep growing. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Hack Hour. Until next time, man, just stay relentless. Stay consistent. Stay in the fight. Go get yours. It's out there. You just have to be willing to get out of your own way.
Thank you for listening to the Hack Hour podcast. It would be awesome if you would leave us a quick review on iTunes. To further your remodeling success, go to remodelingriches.com.